Every capstone project we've built so far follows the same shape: a client sends a request, the server sends back a response, and the connection closes. But some problems don't fit that shape at all. A chat app needs to push a message to 5 other people the instant it's sent, with nobody on the other end asking for it first. Refreshing the page every second to check for new messages would work, technically, but it's wasteful and it's laggy. That's a real-time problem, and request-response HTTP simply isn't built for it. So today we're building something different from scratch, using tools you already know plus one new one. Here's the full scope. We're building a multi-room chat server. Anyone can join a room by name. Everyone currently in that room sees new messages instantly. Joins and leaves get announced automatically. Late joiners get shown the last few messages so they're not lost. And the part most tutorials skip entirely: it keeps working correctly even when you run it across several server processes at once, which is exactly how a real production deployment looks. Quick contrast before any code. HTTP is request response. The client always speaks first, the server replies once, and the connection closes. A WebSocket is fundamentally different. It's one long-lived, two-way connection that both sides keep open. Either side can send a message at any moment, with no new request required to trigger it. That single property is exactly what every push-style feature needs underneath: chat, live dashboards, multiplayer games, collaborative editors, all of it. FastAPI has WebSocket support built directly into the framework, no extra library required. A WebSocket route looks almost like a normal route, except that instead of returning a value once, you accept the connection first and then sit in a loop, reading messages for as long as that client stays connected. This bare version doesn't broadcast to anyone yet, it just proves the connection itself works. That's fine for one person talking to themselves. To actually broadcast to a room, the server needs to remember every currently open connection, grouped by room name. That's the job of a ConnectionManager class underneath, just a dictionary mapping each room name to a list of the live WebSocket objects currently connected to it, with a connect method that accepts the handshake and adds the socket to that list. Broadcasting is genuinely this simple: loop over every connection currently in that room, and send each one the message skipping whoever originally sent it, so they don't see an echo of their own text bounce back to them a moment later. No message queue, no external service needed yet, just a for loop and an await. Wired into the route, the pattern reads almost like a sentence: connect the socket, announce the join to everyone else already in the room, then loop forever, broadcasting every message this person sends out to the rest of the room. It's a surprisingly small amount of code for something that feels alive the moment 2 browser tabs are open against it. Here's what that actually looks like from a second person's terminal. Ben, already connected to the room, called general the moment a new person named Amy joins and says hello to the room. One gap: if Amy joined a room that already had a conversation going, she'd see nothing until someone speaks again. So we keep a short rolling history per room, and send it to a client the instant they connect before the live broadcast loop even starts. That turns an empty, confusing room into one that shows context immediately. People also close laptops, lose Wi-Fi, or just close the tab without saying goodbye. FastAPI raises a WebSocket disconnect exception the moment that happens, so we catch it specifically, remove that socket from the room, and let everyone else know they left. Skip this step and the room's connection list quietly fills up with dead sockets that broadcast will keep trying, and failing, to write to. WebSockets are still testable. FastAPI's test client can open a real WebSocket connection in a test, send text into it, and assert on what comes back, exactly like it does for HTTP routes. This one test proves the join announcement actually reaches a second client in the same room, which is the whole point of the feature. This all works perfectly on your laptop. It quietly breaks in production. Real deployments run several worker processes for one app to use every CPU core, and each worker has its own separate memory space. If Amy connects to worker 1 and Ben connects to worker 2, that in-memory room's dictionary living on worker 1 has genuinely never heard of Ben, so Amy's messages physically cannot reach him, no matter how correct the broadcast code is. This is the single most common mistake people make shipping their first WebSocket feature. It passes every test on a single machine and then silently drops messages the moment it's scaled horizontally. The fix is to stop broadcasting directly from one worker's memory, and instead publish every message to Redis, a fast, in-memory store that every worker process can reach over the network. Redis Pub/sub feature lets any process publish to a named channel, and any other process subscribe to hear it, completely independent of which specific worker actually handled the original incoming connection. Each worker also runs one listener per room. It subscribes to that room's Redis channel, and every time a message arrives on it, hands that message to the local ConnectionManager to broadcast out to whichever clients happen to be physically connected to this specific worker. It's deliberately one listener per room, not one per connection, otherwise every extra person joining would spin up a duplicate listener, and everyone would start receiving each message multiple times over. The final route barely changes shape at all. Swap the direct broadcast calls for publish_message, and make sure a listener task is running for this room before the loop starts. Now it genuinely does not matter which worker Amy and Ben each happen to land on when they connect. Redis is the one shared source of truth that every worker is independently listening to. Step back and that's the whole pattern, in 3 layers: a WebSocket for the live, two-way connection to each browser, a ConnectionManager for fast local delivery and short-term history within one process, and Redis Pub/sub as the shared nervous system connecting every worker together. That exact same 3-layer shape, not just the chat wrapper around it, is what's actually running behind live notifications, collaborative document editors, multiplayer game state, and real-time analytics dashboards. Swap the message payload from plain chat text to a cursor position, a game move, or a metric update, and the rest of the architecture doesn't change at all. This was an original bonus build made for this channel, not pulled from one specific written lesson but every pattern in it, from async functions to production API design to testing, builds directly on the level 4 material in the Python mastery path. Links to that full curriculum are below if you want the foundations this whole project was built on top of.